Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I have the 1/7 scale figure of Rei from the Radioeva series featuring the characters in very fashionable streetwear. This figure is by Hobbymax. This series is from version 2, where it's in collaboration with one of my favorite fashion brands, FILA. I really like that these characters are actually wearing real outfits that you can actually buy physically. It just makes you feel closer to the characters. I don't know, it's a strange feeling. Anyway, I'm really excited to open her up, so let's get started. I picked this up from a local seller on Carousel for 226 Sing dollar, which is about 166 USD. Unlike Asuka, the rest of the Radioeva gang seems to have been in the aftermarket, so I should have waited for this one. I pre-ordered this figure in March 2022 and received Rei in September 2023. It took more than a year. The figure box is a transparent plastic, making it look pretty fancy. But it's not unique like the first Radioeva series box, which is like a fancy shoebox design. Moving on, opening this box up and taking Rei out. Inside the box, there is a printed cardboard to display photos of the figure on the outer side. It also comes with a little note from Hobbymax. There is also another note with simple instructions on putting this figure together, so assembly should be easy. I hope. Rei only has one blister package, and inside, there is a dark grey acrylic base. Last but not least, we have Rei herself, looking really swag. These are all the components for the figure. Now, to set Rei up. For assembly, I'll set Rei on her base. Rei's shoes has 3 holes and this slots into the base. The base is an acrylic dark grey disc with 3 metal pegs. It required a bit of force, but managed to go in quite smoothly. However, for one of Rei's shoes, I can still see a bit of the peg, but I think it's because her shoe is partially lifted off the floor. So I'll just leave it as it is. With that, I have the 1/7 scale figure of Rei from the version 2 Radioeva series by Hobbymax. Although Rei is not my favorite character from this series, I think she looks pretty cool here. I really like how subtle everything flows with the movement of this figure. I feel that compared to the version 1 Rei, this one looks a lot more dynamic and interesting. Zooming into the details, I really like how her face is done. I think it's fairly accurate to the character. Her eye decals are quite detailed and very sharp looking. I also quite like her hair sculpt. Even though the hairstyle is simple, there's a lot of details in it. They also have quite a bit of shading. You can differentiate the light blue and darker blue portions, and the transition is very smooth. Moving down the figure, her outfit looks very cool. She's wearing an oversized FILA shirt with track pants, which looks really comfortable. I especially like how this green jacket is sculpted. There's quite a bit of shading and the folds of the fabric is very detailed. The zips and buttons are nicely sculpted, and I quite like how it has a different kind of color. It looks a bit metallic. The jacket also has all these different patches of graphics sewn onto it. It's a very nice detail. On the back of the jacket, she also has this lacy material, which makes the jacket look interesting. But to be honest, I probably won't buy this jacket because of this lacy material, even though it makes the figure look interesting. Not a fan of it, honestly. Lastly, I really like her FILA shoes. It's quite feminine for a FILA shoe. It has a strip of rainbow all around it, and the color transition of this rainbow is quite pretty. They actually had this pair of shoes on the FILA store back then, but this sort of feminine shoes is not to my taste. I kind of prefer Asuka's one more. Oh, I just realized she has yellow socks. Very nice. Lastly, for the base, it's a simple dark grey acrylic disc, and I love how small it is. It will fit the shelf quite efficiently. All in all, I quite like this figure of Rei, even though she's not my favorite character. The overall pose and quality of this figure looks really well done. Also, I felt that for this line, I needed to get all the characters because the composition of having them all together looks amazing. If you ask me between the version 1 and version 2 which I would prefer, I would say it's hard to decide. I quite like the version 1 outfit more, but version 2 has a lot more details and the sculpt is really pretty. This Rei shows a lot more swag, so since I'm undecided, I'll probably keep both of them. And that's all for today's video. It's a short one, but I hope you like what you saw. If you enjoyed this video, do leave a like and subscribe with notifications to stay tuned to more videos. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye bye!